so ridiculed by Yangkai. Ren Tianrui opened his mouth to plead, but Yanpei raised his hand to stop him. No need to say anything. This is my fault. Sect Master Yang can rest assured that the old man will take the people from Treasure Assembly Pavilion to leave from High Heaven Sect. Yang Kai glanced at him deeply, and didn't say much. He just turned his head to look at Lady Feng and the others, and said with a chuckle, "Okay, Elder Yi is compassionate and righteous, but she doesn't expect to save a group of white-eyed wolves. You guys are good." The Void Return stage cultivators on the opposite side all looked guilty and embarrassed. This is indeed a shame. The people present are all high-level forces with high-end combat power. Although most of them are cunning like foxes and vicious like wolves, doing this kind of thing really makes them feel ashamed. So in the face of Yankai's spurning, they were unable to refute anything. Even more afraid of arousing Yankai's anger and provoking him to slaughter them, and no one said a word at the moment. Yanpei's old black face stood aside, feeling Yankai's intense murderous intent. His face was extremely solemn, and he stopped talking several times before he sighed deeply and remained silent. "Who is the leader?" Yankai shouted sharply, his eyes flashing like thunder, scanning the crowd. Feeling the terrifying aura, everyone involuntarily stepped back a few steps. In the next moment, most people's eyes focused on the Feng Lady of 10,000 Beast Mountain. Lady Feng's face changed drastically, and she glanced at Yankai with fear. Yankai grinned menacingly. Lady Feng no longer dared to stay where she was, and with a long whistle, her withered body suddenly burst into a powerful aura, turning her whole person into a stream of light, and rushed outward. "Want to leave? Save your life first." Yankai yelled coldly, and stretched out his hand to catch the Feng Lady abruptly. 100 meters away, Lady Feng suddenly noticed that the surrounding space had suddenly solidified, and a series of cracks in the space that could be seen by the naked eye has formed, wrapping her in the middle, cutting at her like the sharpest sword. Sect Master Yang has something to say. The old lady admits it, and the old lady is willing to make compensation. Old woman Feng shouted. She had no courage to resist the weird means. She could only use the Saint Yuan to resist the devouring and cutting of those space crack power. It's too late. Yankai was unmoved. The power of space force exploded again. In the void, the cracks in the space hummed. It seemed to have really become a sword, passing everything from Lady Feng. In the next moment, this third-order Void Return stage realm expert from 10,000 Beast Mountain had no aura, and her entire body became tattered. Most of the bones were banished into the endless void. Falling from high altitude, it fell into an eye-catching mud. Yankai cast his gaze to the others in 10,000 Beast Mountain. The high-level people of 10,000 Beast Mountain who came here with Lady Feng suddenly paled with mixed expressions. Some people fell to their knees, crying bitterly, speaking loudly. Some people are decisive and want to escape from here, and some people know that they can't go away at all. They just stand in place with a gray face. The Saint Yuan is running, ready to strike back at any time. And Feng Yan was even more stupid in place. Her beautiful face was full of shock, as if she hadn't reacted until now. Yang Xiaoju and the others killed again, this time without Yankai's order. They also knew what they should do. 10 breaths later, all the high-level forces of 10,000 Beast Mountain were wiped out, leaving only Feng Yan standing stupidly in place. The surrounding blood and the tragic deaths of many teachers and uncles finally made Feng Yan sober a lot. Her body trembled, her thinking was in confusion, and she made an unexpected action, rushing straight towards Yankai and screaming, "I'm fighting with you." Yankai stared at her blankly, and didn't mean to stop or take action. Lin Yurao, who stood behind him, took a step and waved her bare hand lightly. A stream of light flashed from her fingertips. Feng Yan's beautiful eyes instantly widened, and when she rushed to the 5 feet in front of Yankai, she suddenly fell. On the ground, there was red blood permeating the white and slender neck. So far, 10,000 Beast Mountain was really dead, and this sect was completely removed from Shadowed Star. "You can't kill me." A panicked shout suddenly came from the crow. The old man is the top alchemist of the Shadowed Star. He has made great contributions to the human race. You can't kill me. Yang Kai looked at the voice, and suddenly discovered that the speaker was actually Li Jianming, the great elder of the Medicine Pill Sect. His face was bloodless, and after seeing Yang Kai's bloody methods, he couldn't help but collapse a little. It seems that this matter also has something to do with your Medicine Pill Sect. Yang Kai squinted his eyes, his figure shook slightly, and he came directly to Li Jianming and stretched out a hand to cover him. Although Li Jianming is a great elder of the Medicine Pill Sect, in the end, he is only a first-order void return stage. Years of alchemy made him have no extra energy to invest in martial arts, so his cultivation level is not high, and he has little combat experience. Yang Kai covered him with a palm. He didn't mean to dodge at all. He just yelled endlessly in his mouth, "You can't kill me." Yang Kai wouldn't care about him, slapped his head to pieces with a slap. "Stop it." A late shout sounded, and it wasn't until Li Jianming's head exploded that the voice reached Yang Kai's ears. Turning his head and looking around, he saw several other senior officials of Medicine Pill Sect glaring at him. As soon as they come into contact with his icy cold eyes, the high-level members of Medicine Pill Sect were like falling into an ice cellar, and their whole body was cold. Headed by another elder of the Medicine Pill Sect, he was the one who called out just now. Seeing Yang Kai watching over, his teeth bumped, and he trembled. "Sect Master Yang, I am willing to join the High Heaven Sect, and please ask Sect Master Yang to not kill us." Everyone couldn't help but move when he said this. Although the number of Medicine Pill Sect is small, it has always been an extremely aloof sect. When the Battle Sky Union and Thunder Typhoon Sect were in their heydays, they never had the idea to fight the Medicine Pill Sect. They wanted to annex this sect and let the alchemists inside work for themselves, but the Medicine Pill Sect did not compromise at all, so even if the Battle Sky Union and Thunder Typhoon Sect is not happy, there was no way around it. Every year, they can only cooperate with the Medicine Pill Sect and provide a large amount of materials to make the Medicine Pill Sect refining the pill for them. But they didn't expect today, the senior officials of the Medicine Pill Sect were willing to take the initiative to submit to the High Heaven Sect. Although the great elderly Jianming is dead, there are still 4 void-grade low-rank alchemy expert in Medicine Pill Sect. There are more than a dozen Saint King-grade alchemists. This is definitely a force that makes people jealous to the extreme. Any power that controls this power will be enough to greatly improve the overall strength in the future. Although the atmosphere on the square and Yang Kai's previous methods made people feel chilling, when the elder of Medicine Pill Sect said this, others couldn't help looking at Yang Kai with some envy. "I'm willing to submit, and please ask Sect Master Yang to let us live." Seeing that the situation turned like this, how can the other elders dare to be tough? They lowered their arrogant heads one after another, expressing surrender. Yang Xiaoju and the others raised their brows and looked at Yang Kai with a slightly excited expression, as if they wanted to suggest that he agreed to Medicine Pill Sect request. Yang Kai smiled playfully. "I killed Li Jianming, don't you hate me?" The complexions of several people in the Medicine Pill Sect changed slightly. The elder who had spoken before said, "Good birds choose better wood to live, I just make the best choice." Ha ha. Yang Kai smiled softly, then his face sank, and wave killed them. Everyone in the Medicine Pill Sect was stunned, and even Yang Xiaoju and the others were stunned. They didn't seem to expect Yang Kai to give such a ruthless order. But they didn't hesitate, they just rushed out after a moment of loss. The elder of the Medicine Pill Sect shouted, "Sect Master Yang, the old man and the other 4 are all of the void-grade alchemists. You." Before he finished speaking, he was killed by Chu Honey. The people of Medicine Pill Sect had no fighting power, and Yang Xiaoju didn't have to spend much energy at all, so they sent them all to the underworld with ease. But everyone has some pity on their faces. The people they killed were all alchemists capable of refining spirit pills above the Saint King grade. They were not available to any forces before, but now they are all corpses. Above the square of High Heaven Sect, it gradually became cold. However, Yang Kai felt that it didn't matter. If it was someone else, they might really let those people live. After all, void-grade alchemists could not be found casually, especially in places like Shadowed Star. Every alchemist above the Saint King grade is precious. But Xianxia himself is a Void King grade alchemist, and the little senior sister's alchemy accomplishments are not worse than his own. How can he care about a few Void grade low-rank alchemists? Leaving the precious herbs to them for refining, Xianxia is still a little worried. Killing them is 100 times better, saving the materials that might be spoiled by them. After dealing with the two culprits of 10,000 Beast Mountain and Medicine Pill Sect, Xianxia's anger and murderous intent were finally calmed down. Under the horrified and worried gaze of everyone, he exhaled and said, "You now have two choices. Surrender or die. The people here are all Void Return Stage, a force that is not weak. Xianxia does have the ability to kill them all, but in comparison, Xianxia is more willing to subdue them. The corpse spirit religion is now a disaster for Shadowed Star, and the original experts of the High Heaven sect suffered heavy casualties, and now he is lacking powerful thugs. These people are the best choice." The little black-face Rentian Rui also said that many forces did not participate in the persecution of Yi Xian and others, and some forces may just follow the trend and be bewitched. So after slaying the first evil, Xianxia didn't plan to go deeper. Presumably the blood of the people in 10,000 Beast Mountain and Medicine Pill Sect was enough to wake these people up. With a word, the square fell silent. Everyone looked at each other, but compared to the anxiety just now, their expressions have finally eased a lot. They were really afraid of Xianxia's murderous intentions, and they would be put on the end of the crossbow. With the means he showed just now and the strength of Xianxia Ju and others, no one could resist. No one is stupid enough to question Xianxia's domineering decision. Compared with his earlier brutal method, it is already benevolent enough to give such a choice now, and many people have a complex mood. To be continued.